What's going on YouTube? Timbers here, back today with a new tutorial. Today I'm going to be breaking down my track Your Heartbreak. I put this one out back in early June on High Five Music. Shout out to High Five Music. I loved working with them. They were great. And the track just recently hit 100K streams, which I'm super stoked about, and just thankful to everyone who streamed it. If you haven't heard the track yet, I'm going to link it down below in the description, so feel free to check it out. And if you're new to my channel in general, I make tutorials like this one, and I also come out with new music every week. I make EDM and rap beats, remixes, as well as original music. So if you're feeling generous, please hit the subscribe button, like and comment down below. Let me know what you think. Really helps me grow the channel. But anyway, now that we got that plug out of the way, I have the project file open here. So let's start with the break. The tempo is set to 126 BPM. So I like all kinds of dance music and just music in general, but I probably mostly listen to like future house and some future bounce as well. I was trying to make a future bounce track with this one. I would say it's kind of a mixture. So yeah, let's get started with the break. I'm just gonna play it for you guys. First break is only 8 bars, so here we go. Turn the volume up. Alright guys, so the main thing with this one is this vocal loop I found, and it's really short. It's like literally a 2-bar loop, just like a phrase, which I think is cool because I was able to make a whole song out of just this 2-bar phrase. And you can too. Anyone can do it if I did it. So, and basically what I did to make it interesting, I played around with the pitch a lot. So let's see. This is the vocal. I got it from Splice, by the way. I get like pretty much all my vocals from Splice. Shout out Splice. So let me solo this. So that's the first 2 bars of the vocal, and I'm going to show you my processing on it. This is what it sounds like before I did anything to it. I could hear your heartbreak. So super dry, clean though, good vocal. So first thing, I cut out the low end with the FabFilter Pro Q3. You can obviously use any EQ for that. Then I'm using CLA Vocals. I like this one a lot. Really helped me just get better at processing my vocals. I usually always use a compressor in it, so I put it on spank mode, and then I bring it up. I brought it to 6.4 here, and then sometimes I don't touch the other settings, but often I do use the delay in here as well. I put it up to 2 and just leave it on slap mode. I left the reverb here on tight, and it's just at 0 though. And then I just brought the gain down a little bit because when you compress it a lot, it got a little too loud, so I just brought it down a bit. After that, I have another EQ cutting out any low end that was added from the CLA. Then I have another reverb on here from Valhalla Room. This is the reverb I use now, and I made this preset for vocals, but you just play around with the settings till you get a sound that you like. I kind of wanted like a big one on this here, so I have the depth up pretty high, high cut all the way, and 30% mix. And I brought this bass multiplier down to 0.5. Last thing here, I just have a stereo imager. I brought the width up to 1.6, so I'm just making the vocal sound wider so it fills up the whole spectrum. And this plugin is the S1 stereo imager from Waves, another one of my go-tos. So I'll let you hear it one more time here, just with the effects. And then next two bars here. As you can hear, the next two bars, same vocal obviously, I just pitched it down to kind of change it up. When you're using like a small vocal sample, and you're trying to make like a whole track with it, it can be done. And I would just do different things to make it interesting. I like playing with the pitch a lot. Other things that come to mind, you can use a vocoder. You can make vocal chops, stuff like that. But it's the same processing. I'm actually pitching it down 12 semitones, so I'm pitching it a whole octave down just with the pitch shifter. This is a built-in Logic plugin, and mix 100%. So I'm just pitching it down an octave. Then next two bars, it's back to the regular vocal. And then the last two bars of the break, I pitched it up instead of down. So same exact thing, except I pitched it up 5 semitones. So I would say that's like the main element of the break. Next, I got this bass line here. I'm using this preset I found from Splice. It's like a Flume respace. I use this one all the time, probably too much, but I just think it sounds really good. This is the pattern for the bass. So, by the way, our track is in E minor, and the bass line is half bar notes. So I'm going, it's basically a 2-bar loop. It's really 4, but it's 2 because I'm going E, C, G, D, and then I copy and paste it, except I'll change the last note when I copy paste it. So instead of going down to D, I go up to A then. And I highly recommend that. Just it's adding variation, changing it up a little instead of just the same 4 notes. And also I think it helps transition too when you go up like that instead of down to the D. Anyway, so that's the bass line. Let me see here. So I left it empty. I got no processing on it, just however the preset is in Serum. There's an EQ built in. That's just how it came. I think okay, I didn't actually use that, so that was muted. Let's see, I have other stuff here. Okay, yeah, I would say the other main part of the break, I found this synth loop, also on Splice. I just thought it was really cool. It's like this plucky loop, has a lot of attack, very like punchy. It's 8-bar loop, actually 10, but basically 8. This is silent. Yeah, and I started to play the chords up here. As you can see, I tried some different stuff. I tried making chords and like stuff in synths, but I found this loop and I just thought it was awesome. So nothing wrong with using loops in my opinion, because I mean, the way I think about it, like, you gotta have an ear for them and you gotta know how to use them and like get them to sound right in the song you're making, or find the right one. Yeah, so I use a loop here for the synth. And then the processing, I'm cutting out the lows here so it doesn't conflict with the bass. And then I'm also cutting out the highs up to around like 1750 hertz, just so it leaves space for the vocal, because the vocal shines in the high end, especially female vocals. So I'm cutting out the lows and the highs here. Then I have a Camel Crusher using this British Clean preset. This preset is a little messed up, as you can see. It just shows a black screen. If you've watched my other tutorials, I probably explained this before, but just something's messed up with it. But I almost always use this British Clean preset. It's a distortion plugin, makes it sound bigger, louder, fatter, whatever you want to say. So then EQing again after the Camel Crusher, because it's going to add lows and highs, so I'm cutting those out again. Then I have this reverb on, this kind of like ambient chord preset that I made. But again, just, play around with the settings. You will find a setting that you like. And then also just widening this with the S1. So let me play that with the vocal. And the bass. Alright guys, next I just have not too much else. I just have some atmospheric elements here. Let me solo this. So this is really quiet. It's low in the mix. You probably can't tell it's there. But this along with, I also have this one. They're both pretty quiet in the mix because you don't want them to there's a lot of high end. You don't want them to conflict with the vocal, but they do add up. I'll show you guys in a sec. But found both these loops on Splice, and they're both in key. I try to always find loops or samples that are in the key of your song, because it tends to sound better when everything's in key. So these are some atmosphere loops I found on Splice in E minor. Let me show you how I process them. Cutting out the low end. Camel Crusher again. Another EQ. Big reverb. Widening it. So, pretty similar to the synth loop. This one's different. It's more interesting, I think. I'm just cutting out the low end. I have a different reverb on here. For some reason I put this vocal preset on. And widening it again. So these together sound like this. So I'm going to show you the break without the atmosphere loops. And this is with them. Like I said, they're really low in the mix, but if you listen closely, you can tell they make a difference. It sounds more empty, I think, without them. And then only drums in this first break. I just have a Cashmere snap hitting on every second and fourth beat. Just cutting out the low end with an EQ. Not really doing anything to them. Cashmere samples, a lot of the time you don't have to do a lot to them because they sound great. I know everyone uses them, but, everyone uses them for a reason, I would say. But shout out Cashmere. Great samples, great artist. Let's see, anything else? Alright, so then I'm transitioning to the build-up here. I have this sweep, also from Cashmere. Let's see what else. Then I have this impact. Let's see what else. I think I used this sweep in a different song and I changed the tempo. That's why it's like doesn't seem to be in the right place here, but it would go into the impact. Let's see what else I got. Okay, so we're gonna go to the build-up here, guys. So obviously vocal and bass are the same. They're still in there. Atmosphere is still in there. Okay, this is the drop. I bounced out all the drop leads as just an audio file, one audio file, so I could kind of put it in the build-up. And I put a filter on it, and I'm automating the cutoff, so you can slowly hear it coming in. The drop is a 4-bar loop, and then the second half of the build-up, I'm just looping 1 bar, then I'm looping 1/4 of a bar, just so I'm not looping the same thing twice. Let me show you what I mean here. And then and the cutoff's just slowly building. I didn't open up the filter all the way though. I think that's a way to get the drop to hit harder. If you just don't, you slowly open it up, but if you don't fully open it up, then it will fully open up in the drop and hits harder. Just a small thing I do a lot of the time. Okay. What else? I got some risers and sweeps here. Also got this one. I already showed you this impact. Second half of the build up, I put another impact here. Sounds like this. I like to do those little like sub drop. I usually put them in the second half of the build up. I find they work well here. Let's see what else I have here. I have some claps here, hitting on all 4 beats, just like a simple build-up pattern with the clap, and then I layered the clap with a snare. I put it in a sampler instrument. I always do this with my snares when I'm making a build-up, because that way I can automate the pitch. So as you can hear, second half of the build-up, I'm pitch bending up the snare here, as you can hear. Yeah, typical EDM stuff. And I would say the last thing here, the main part of this build-up, I have these synth chords here. I believe these are the same chords I'm using in the drop. But I really like this preset I found. This is another splice preset for Serum. It's called Chords Glassy Bounce. And it's just, you can adjust like the tempo of them hitting with the LFO here. I have it set to 1/8. It just, instead of like the chord just hitting once, you know, it's like Dun, 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 dun. That, I just find that kind of like raises the energy along with everything else. So it's, you can hear it's kind of like starting to build the tension, the energy. So let me show you the transition here. And I did loop the vocal as well for the build-up. I changed it up a little here. Just the second half here. I just have it looping the one bar and then half a bar. I can hear your heart. I can. And I really like that part. Then I looped half a bar, and I have it pitched up, as you can hear. And then just the one bar pitched down right before the drop. Let me show you the one bar right before the drop. So I have that vocal, this sweep I already showed you, I believe. And then I have this drum fill from Splice. I believe it's from a Drop Gun pack. Shout out Drop Gun. They have some great samples as well. Alright guys, yeah, so that's the whole build up. Let me just show you the processing on these synth chords. First of all, if you want to see the MIDI again, this is it. Basically just have, I have 3-note chords and then a top melody on top of it, and they just sounded cool with this preset. And a song that I think I got this idea, this song, there's a song called Heartbeat, I believe, by Same Thoughts. It's like a Future House song released by Future House Cloud. That's like my favorite label. Shout out to Same Thoughts, because I believe I was listening to that song a lot when I made this, and I was heavily inspired by it. And their build-up had like a similar sounding chords like this. Let me go back here. Like this. I don't know, I really think they help raise the energy and kind of help you transition to the drop here. Let's see here. Sorry guys, I'm just looking what else we got. So second break is a little bit different. I'm gonna do the second break here before I do the drop, because it's pretty much the same. I just have different drum pattern. I kind of have like a future bass / trap drum beat here. So let me play it for you. So everything's the same besides the drums. Instead of the Flume Reese bass, I have this 808. Oh, sorry, that's the hi-hat. This 808. Just setting the width to 0 to make sure it's mono. You usually want your bass mono. And this 808's from a Southside pack on Splice. It's called Essence. So, and then this is the MIDI pattern. Same bass line, just some different notes here. I mean, the notes are in different spots here. But, I mean, I said that wrong. I mean, the rhythm's different, but it's playing the same bass notes, if that makes sense. Here's the MIDI pattern so you can see it. Then my favorite part of this is this future bass snare. It's from a Vengeance pack that I've had for a while. Sounds like this. I just think it hits really hard. Sounds good. All I'm doing is cutting out the lows on the snare so it doesn't conflict with the bass. I got some shaker loops here. I think those definitely help a lot. I layered the 808 with a kick. Pretty sure the same kick as the drop. I just duplicated it, made a new track, but it's same kick as the drop. Pretty sure. And then I have this hi-hat pattern. It's kind of like trap hi-hats here, trap drums in general. I like to do this with my hi-hats a lot, play some different notes with the MIDI. Just gives it more variation. You can see it goes down here, then up. This is just a little transition effect. This was also in the first break. I missed it. Just a little transition here. And then when I go from the drop to the second break, I have this impact. So I want to make sure your transitions are good. They're key. It took me a while to learn how to do that, but it's not hard once you get the hang of it. Just, adding sweeps and like transition effects, risers, impacts, stuff like that. But besides that, the second break is the same as the first. I'll play the whole thing here for you. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I think that drum pattern sounds cool with the vocal in the second break. So just so I don't make these too long, I'm gonna show you guys the drop in the next video. So stay tuned. I'm gonna get that out soon. Just because I don't want to, make these too long, get people bored. So, but these are the breaks. Pretty much fully explained. If you do have any questions, just comment down below. I will reach out to you and respond. And like I said before, I will link the track down below in the description. If you haven't heard it yet, give it a listen. Let me know what you think. And, stay tuned. I got a lot more music content dropping. So if you watched to this point, really appreciate it. And thank you. And hope you have a great rest of your week and your day. I'm going to tune out. Peace.